Hello everybody, ArmsInc here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Garmin Astro 320 with a DC40 collar. Let me show you basically what it came with, and then I'm going to go with some of the areas I've hunted in with this particular collar on my dog, and cons and pros, and my final conclusion. So let's start off with what it comes with. It comes with this durable, nice case, a little cargo net area in the front, and that's where I keep my paperwork. And this includes basic instructions, and also explains on how you can get a topographical maps and just little cool features you can do with it. And it does come with a couple zip ties. I'll explain what that is for a little bit later. And yeah, just a nice little place where you can stick some paperwork, maybe your hunting license or whatever, extra copy of your hunting license. As you can see, it opens up, and now this is not how it came from the factory. This is after a few hunts and me jumbling it up and just throwing it back in. You never quite get it in like how the manufacturers did it, and I don't ever expect to. So first things first, I do have it on. This is the Garmin. This is it, and here is your collar. As you can see, it says the dog is near. I'm not going to click on the map feature just because I don't want to show you where I am. The GPS works so well that inside a cement concrete apartment building, it can even tell me where I am, so I'm just not going to show you that. But I'm going to do some other videos of me actually using it and showing more usage of the maps and whatnot. But as you can see, it works. There's the collar. And the extra zip ties are for the antenna, in case it does, you know, you have a smaller dog or a bigger dog, you need to move the zip tie. For me, it works at this. I have used this a few times, like 4 or 5 times, and you know, going out hunting, all day hunting, and running it through dirt, bushes, trees, lava rock. It was tested at high altitude on Mauna Kea, which is on the Big Island, on my Labrador for bird hunting. And you know, my dog did put it through its paces. So, you know, some minor scratches or whatnot. It held up extremely well. There's a few times I thought he was going to rip it off just from trying to get in the bush and whatnot, or banging it on a lava rock when he kind of, you know, jumped off something. So it is very durable, very well built. It impressed me. Same thing with the handset, very well built. Has hard plastic on the inside, kind of, right? Like the orange is a hard plastic, and the black is like this all grippy, slightly spongy rubber plastic. You know, just really well built. Now let's get to more of what it came with. Turn this off. Turn that off, and turn this off, and it's off. So it came with the collar, the handset. It did not come with this little white band that I use. I use this to hold on, so in case I see anything, I can just let go of it and it'll be on my wrist. It did come with USB cable to update your handset, and when you update your handset, it will also update your collar. The way that you charge your collar is pretty neat. It comes with this little charging device where there's these 2 prongs, and clips right on here. And when you plug this in to either a car outlet, car outlet. I didn't really use that yet. Or your house outlet, and this is a US connection. They do have connections, I believe, for other countries, but when you plug into the house outlet and then you plug this in there, and it will actually charge your collar. Relatively fast charging, not relatively fast, just like 4 hours or whatever, what you'd expect. For this, it also came with this cool little clip that you put on right here, slide up, and then you slide this. It's like a fat cell phone on your side. Did not really use this, just left it in the case. Like I said, I prefer to stick it in, if I'm not going to have it on my wrist, I'd stick it in my vest, or I'll use this and stick this here. Has a little slot for it. Did not come with it, but it is a great add-on if you're going to put something on. You can see the handset's got a spot for the batteries, and inside here you can see there's a spot for like a SD card, micro SD card, and they sell micro SD cards with the topographical maps already on them, or you can download them onto your own micro SD card and stick them in here. They are like 40 bucks. They vary in price. Some are 25, I think it was, and some are 40, $50 for different areas. They even have Hawaii. They have a whole bunch of other locations. I'm not going to use it. I wish I kind of didn't know that it didn't come with the map, and that's my fault for not doing enough research when I got it. But so it does not come with the map for your location. You have to pay extra for that, and I chose not to pay extra for that. Works great otherwise. Let me close this back up. So let's get into the rest of it. And finally, this is, I believe, a long-range antenna, and where this, I believe, fits on, it really didn't actually come with any information on this that I found, and I haven't used it. But the only thing that I could think that this would go to be right here, and it screws in. This one would unscrew, and you have this super long giant antenna, which is kind of like ridiculous. I never went out of range with this antenna. If you're going out of range with this antenna, you're either in like insane hills with valleys and bushes and trees, or your dog's just so far away that it really wouldn't make sense to me to use this for my personal application. Like I said, the furthest my dog ever got away was didn't get away. I sent him with somebody to go flush some birds down the hill, and I was at the along the path on the side. We're waiting to get him, but it was about 250 yards, and this was up a hill and down with bushes, trees, rocks, and there wasn't even a falter on any antenna location. I had no real problems with that part. And so now that I've done a kind of a general overview, let me get into the pros and the cons. Oh, let me tell you a little bit about my experience. Like I said, the furthest out I went was 250 yards in a hilly area with trees. This was on Mauna Kea. It had no problem at a decent high elevation, between 6,000 and Mauna Kea goes all the way up to 14, but we weren't that high up. So I don't know, 10,000 maybe. That's about the area where we're hunting in between. And very durable. Just worked like a charm. Went through bushes, you know, well, a little bit of rain happened, no problem. I do believe that this is like water resistant. I don't know about waterproof, but if your dog's doing deep sea diving, then you've got other issues. I don't know. So, and I took it out a few times, used it, works great. Now let me get to the pros and cons. The cons that I had with this was difficulty using the password protection system. I could set it up, get it going, and everything worked great. And then I accidentally, in my pocket, I had turned this, it pressed against some other stuff I had in the same pocket, and turned off the receiver, and somehow disconnected with the collar. And when I tried to reconnect, enter my password, it said it didn't recognize my password, and it said I had to get a hold of the physical unit. And when you're holding on the physical unit, you can change the password or whatever. So the password protection thing did not work. I found it kind of useless, and you know, my password was fairly simple. And when I retried it again, I had a similar failure. So I don't. That could be user error. That could be ignorance on my part from user error, or there's an actual bug in the particular firmware that I have, and I need to upgrade. I don't know what the case is, but you know, the password protection part did not work great for me. The handset battery life. These I left it on full brightness. I left it on the whole time I was hunting. I didn't want to turn it off. And my batteries would last for about 1 day, maybe 12 hours, 8 hours. And I didn't even turn it off till after I got home. Just being busy, and there's so much other stuff to take care of first, cleaning the game and everything like that, cleaning the birds. And this was kind of like last on my list. And the battery was close to dying. Did not die after a day, but it was close to dying, and I wouldn't take it out for a second hunting trip. So you will need to replace the 2 AA's in here every time. This should be changed, and that's when you have it on full brightness and high connectivity. You know, the different levels you can have these two connect to each other or talk to each other. And I had it set for one of the higher ones, and that's part of the reason why I died faster. This, I believe, would last for a little bit longer. I didn't test it. I just recharged it after every trip because I didn't want to be out in the field and have it go dead on me. But as far as the handset goes, the battery life could have been a little bit better. Most of that's me, though. I said I had it at the highest possible brightness and everything. Still, I would have expected a little bit more. So you need to keep an extra pair of AA's with you if you're going on a trip. Accuracy in distance at close range. It is not very accurate if you're in 10 feet of the collar. It will not tell you exactly where it is. The directions will be off, and you know, if your dog's within 10 feet of you, you should be able to see it. And that's not really what this is meant for, but it's just kind of like a side note. Does not come with maps. You know, I was really upset when I found out it didn't come with the topographical map. This is in the $650, and some people are even probably paying more. And maybe at the time you'll see this, it's gone down. The time I bought it was $650 ish, and for that price, you kind of expect a little bit more. So that, you know, that was a little disappointment I had with it. What else? Let me get back to my list here. Expensive. It is very expensive. Like I said, it did cost that much, and for that price, it's you know, it is something you have to debate with yourself on if you can afford this, and you know, does your particular activity really, does your dog really need this? And if you're going hunting, camping, hiking, and you bring your dog off leash and you let your dog run around with you, it's a great thing, and that's perfect, and that's exactly what it's designed for. If you're not doing any of those and you're walking around your neighborhood, this is not what you need, you know. And even if your dog's off the collar, it's kind of it'd be overkill. Meant for far longer distances. I know Sports Dog does have a collar, and theirs is a little bit cheaper. It's like around in the 400 450 range, I believe. I would look into that if you're not really gonna do hunting or hiking or anything tremendous. Even if you're doing light hunting and hiking, that might be the way to go. This is more if you're, you know, you're out there, you gotta find your dog, you want a way, and you also want GPS to find where your truck is. You know, you want all the other options, and if you want the topographical maps in case you do go to, say, another state or country, and you bring your dog with you, and you want to be able to find your way around and to be able to find your dog, this is great. Alright, and getting back to it, the pros. Like I said, durability. This is an extremely durable system. The collar has been battered, been used. My dog dragged it pretty much everywhere, bouncing on lava rock, whatnot, and it's still here. And along with the handset and this case. This case is super durable. Really impressed with it. A very nice case. Ease of use. It is pretty easy to use, excluding that password part. That was the only thing that really upset me, or not upset me, but I found disappointing in the system. And other than that, everything else is really easy to use, real simple, real user friendly, and yeah, it's really great. Accuracy and direction. It is very accurate as long as it's not right. As long as the dog's not next to you. If the dog is, you know, however many yards out or up to, I believe, several miles, it will pretty much point you on direction. Now, I did have one time that when the dog was over the hill, it kept kind of going off a little bit, and it was just a tick off. And I don't know if that was partly because I was climbing a hill or whatnot. And when I mean a tick off, I mean in the screen. Let me turn it on here. In the screen where it says what dog you have, and it says points the arrow in the direction. This screen, and there's usually an arrow pointing. It was a tick off, like it should have been straight, and it would have been just a little bit off to the side. But once I got closer, it corrected itself. Works for long distances, like I said, up to several miles, and it does vary upon your terrain. If you're on flatland, it's a lot different than if you're in mountains with trees and whatnot. So, yeah, but its distance is further than you're gonna walk. Nice case. The case is very nice, very strong and durable, and overall it just works. You know. I felt very confident taking my dog out there. My dog, it means a lot to me, and I had no trouble using this system, and yeah, I really did like it. So in my conclusion, is it worth the money? For me personally, yes. If you're hunting, hiking, camping, this is worth the money, and you have your dog running around. If you live in a small suburb and your dog runs around maybe in your backyard that's a little bit bigger, or you're not really doing anything major, you might only take your dog off the leash at the beach or something like that, it might not be worth it for you. If you're doing waterfowl, it might not be worth it for you. But if you're doing any upland, if you're doing boar hunting or hog hunting, this is exactly what it's designed for. If you're doing hiking, if you're doing camping, perfect. And so for me, it was worth the money, and it was worth the investment. I will do some more videos on this. I have plans to do a couple where I show it in use. I already have one up, so hopefully there'll be a couple more pretty soon. And thank you. Mahalo for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment box down below. And any input you have or whatnot would be gratefully helpful for me developing more videos. So thank you. Mahalo.